All right, doing a little rower tutorial here. We're going to start with just the setup. Okay, so first of all, as I put my feet in here into the foot straps, that strap over the ball of my foot so I could adjust this pad up or down as needed to be in a proper position for that. And then I'm going to cinch the strap down so that I stay secure as I do my thing here. Okay, then I have my handle set. I'm going to be starting out with my shins fairly vertical, right? I don't need the seat to come all the way in where I get really jammed up, but I also could be leaving some, kind of distance on the table if I only come in this far at the start of each pull. So I'm going to start about roughly vertical shins, torso sitting nice and tall, either vertical, maybe slightly lean forward if you're looking at me like I was on a clock. Maybe my torso would be at 11 o'clock from your perspective, depending on the hip mobility that I don't have, but other people might, right? But sitting tall spine as opposed to slumped over, okay? So from that start position, vertical shins, sitting nice and tall, the first motion is going to be a leg drive, right? So I'm going to isolate that first. Just driving with my legs is the first thing that I'm going to do. As I do that leg drive, I want to see the handle and the seat move in unison, okay? If my legs shoot my seat backwards more than my handle moves, now I have to kind of wrench more with my back, right? Contrary, if the handle moves more than the seat does, I'm wrenching before my leg drive really has a chance to produce a lot of power, right? So as I do the leg drive, handle and seat should move together, okay? As I complete the leg drive, my torso now will slightly lean backwards, again, maybe going from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock or so, and I will initiate that pull with my upper body, okay? So let's go through that again. Leg drive, torso slightly leans back and pull. Leg drive, torso, pull. Okay? To go back, I'm just going to reverse that. My arms will return first, my legs will come back, and my torso will return to that start position. So I'm just going to do a few reps now at a normal pace. Okay? And I want to talk about a couple common errors to look out for. Number one, rounding over excessively is probably the number one thing you're going to see, because I do get a little bit more reach on that handle when I do that. And although we don't want to, be unable to move our spine at all, doing that repetitively over the course of a full rowing workout is probably going to be a little more load than you want to put on those extensor musculature. You don't want them to be a primary mover the way, the bigger, quads, glutes, upper back pulling musculature is kind of more designed to do, right? So just be wary of that spine position. And then second common error, just where to pull to. Generally thinking more like a mid-row with elbows kind of out and back, maybe at a 45-degree angle is going to be a pretty good spot, as opposed to a high row pulling up towards the neck, or a row where the elbows are kind of jammed by the sides. Okay, so just that strong, powerful mid-row, driving the handle right about towards the base of the chest. Okay. Last factor that I want to talk about is just what damper setting to use. So the damper here is on the other side of the rower from the camera, but a way you can set the damper properly for yourself is if you go to menu, hit more options, and then display drag factor. As I do a couple rows, it'll give me a drag factor reading. So right now, the drag factor is at 169, which is pretty high. The most efficient place to be is going to be around like 125, 130-ish, somewhere around that zone for most people. The higher the drag factor, which would come from a higher damper setting, the more the workout's going to be muscular, oh my God, limited by your musculature as opposed to your cardiovascular system. If the drag factor is lower than that, you almost feel like you're on a bike that's in a gear that's too low and your feet are just kind of spinning around, right? So think of a drag factor about 125 to 130, and you can play with the damper setting to find where that is on the rower you're using. It'll vary a little bit based on how clean the rower is, things like that. So you won't always know that every rower ever I'm a 4. You would just want to kind of test that out on the rower that you're using, right? That's all. Enjoy. Happy rowing.